tourist experience in Iran is very different.
Right.
You know, as you know, dictatorships always use tourism as a way, you know, to push their propaganda, because they want people to go to Iran. Iran is a wonderful country. You go there, you meet amazing people,
Eat great food.
Great food, so much history, wonderful culture, and you come back and you're like, well, you know, everybody, what's the fuss? Iran's great. Oh yeah, well, you know, I had to just put on a headscarf when I was there, but that's no big deal. You know, that's how a tourist would look at it, right?
There are a lot of influencers who are also doing the things that they used to do, or who've returned to doing some of that. Tell me about this decision and how difficult it was, or not, to move away from your regularly scheduled programming and be focusing yourself on the revolution.
Well, you know, anybody who's a YouTuber and understands the algorithms of YouTube knows that this will harm the channel. Like, if you just kind of break away from it and do nothing for months. But for me, that's not important. Like, I don't really care about that. YouTube has always been my hobby, my passion, something I do for fun because I love different languages, different cultures, connecting people. But what is going on right now is far, far more important. It's something that I'm truly passionate about. And like I said, I work full time. So when I'm done work every day, if I'm not spending time with family, whatever spare time is left over, which used to be, oh, you know, I have fun as a YouTuber, now it's spent for something that's far, far more important to me.
Your audience on YouTube, those hundreds of thousands of subscribers, they're not just Iranian. So how did they, I mean, I guess they're used to it at this point now in terms of what you've been posting lately, but how did they react at first to you going all revolution all the time?
Well, I think that's one of the most important parts of this, because the overwhelming majority of my followers and audience, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram, they're not Iranian. You know, one of the posts that I made was about why it's so important for us to relay the message, bring awareness, talk about what's going on inside Iran in English, because there's so much of it that happens in Persian. It's written in Persian, and that's great. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we need to do more. We need to speak out in English. Whatever country, like if someone is in Germany or in any country in the native or local language of that place, has to be done more often. And because I have such a large audience that is not Iranian, and I post everything in English, I've been able to, you could say, inform and educate many people who had no idea about what's going on in Iran, even people who had visited Iran as tourists, because the tourist experience in Iran is very different.
Right.
You know, as you know, dictatorships always use tourism as a way, you know, to push their propaganda, because they want people to go to Iran. Iran is a wonderful country. You go there, you meet amazing people,
eat great food,
great food, so much history, wonderful culture, and you come back and you're like, well, you know, everybody, what's the fuss? Iran's great. Oh yeah, well, you know, I had to just put on a headscarf when I was there, but that's no big deal. You know, that's how a tourist would look at it, right? And I don't fault them. I don't blame them for that, because that's part of the propaganda. But you'll never really truly understand the suffering and the misery of the people unless you're a citizen of the country, right? So this platform and being able to reach so many non-Iranians has been very critical, very important, and it's something that we all need to do.